Welcome back to the channel. A Better Me TV. Good to see you here, guys. So today I'm going to be talking on sensitivity. Why sensitivity is a superpower. Now I don't know about you, but there may be quite a few sensitive souls watching this video. Now my experience growing up over the years, being sensitive is something which is kind of like, oh, she's sensitive. Oh, she's sensitive. Oh, he's sensitive. It's kind of talked about in more of a negative way, to be honest. And I know a lot of sensitive people have been made to feel as if what they feel, what they think, how they express things is too much. Oh, here she goes, she's crying again. Oh, here he goes, in his feelings, he's hurt. Why are you so sensitive? Why are you so sensitive? Why are you so sensitive? That's a line I've literally heard my entire life. It has taken me an extremely long time to realise that sensitivity is actually a superpower. Let me tell you why. Number one, to sense basically means to feel. To feel. That's what it means. So when people always talk about you're sensitive, like what, it's a crime to feel. Mankind have been desensitized to so many things, whether it's war, fighting, murder, not being nice to others. People have got so used to it that all of a sudden when you feel, it's a problem. Does anyone think that's weird? That feeling is a problem. That's all sensitivity is. And remember, we have our five senses. So we've got our hearing, what we hear, see, feel, taste, smell. These are our senses. And when you're sensitive, you usually are a person who feels very deeply. However, the strength of this means that you're able to pick things up very quickly. You can sense when the energy is off. You can sense when someone doesn't like you. You can sense that that food is actually bad for you. Because even your body reacts. Your body reacts. You may get upset stomach. You may get bloated. Sometimes you're in an environment, you get a headache. Because you're so in tune with the environment and so affected by things, you can feel things so deeply that you can become affected. But that's not necessarily a bad thing, because it means we don't waste time like others in the wrong places. We can often feel very quickly when something is not right. We're very intuitive. We can feel when, the environment. Now, it doesn't always mean, let me get this straight, this doesn't necessarily mean that we are able to always put reasoning around it. So, for example, I don't know, I could be in a relationship which is unhealthy for me, but not necessarily see it like that. But what will happen is, because I'm sensitive, I may start feeling tense. I could start getting anxious. I could start getting migraines. I could start getting upset stomachs. I could, start crying all the time and not understand why. So yes, sometimes sensitive people don't necessarily understand what they're feeling. And it doesn't mean that they are able to explain it or put logic with it. But we do feel things quickly. And the information is there. And because we feel it quickly, because our body is sensitive, whether it's emotionally, whether it's physically, whether we're sensitive to our environment, it means we're able to respond and work things out better. So it is not a bad thing. Secondly, sensitive people are often very good at, they're very intuitive. Like they will have gut instinct and there's no logic behind that. So I could meet a person and I would just feel like they're a really spiteful person, wicked. I don't even know them yet. And so someone could say, well, how do you know that? Why are you saying that? I don't know. I just know what I know. I just know what I feel. And one thing I do know, and sensitive people will know, is their gut instinct, intuition does not lie. It does not lie. But what we do as individuals is sometimes we push what we sense aside, or we don't want to upset someone, so we will respond in a certain way rather than how we intuitively feel. Or, so it doesn't mean that we're always able to follow through with what we pick up and what we sense, but we will know it. And the quicker you can learn to be in tune with your body and your emotions and your mind, then the quicker you can just make the right decisions for your sensitive self. That's what I would say. And thirdly, I would say that we are able to relate to others really well. So we have a lot of empathy, a lot of understanding, because we can literally feel another's emotions, their state of being, the kind of person they are, because we're in tune and we're able to pick up and sense so much in our environment and around people. So you're going to find sensitive people are big empaths, and that is definitely a superpower. The world that we live in today is so hectic, and so many people are forgetting to live out that humanness in them, relate to others, understand others, have compassion towards others, to also not look down on others. As a sensitive person, you're able to have compassion and empathy and understanding. So looking down on others is not something that kind of sits with us well. Often we've been judged ourselves for being very sensitive or over feeling or over sympathizing, caring too much, letting too much affect you. It's because we're very human. It's because we have a big heart. It's because we feel. It's because we lead from our heart space, our heart chakra. We know how to engage with others, connect with others. And don't get me wrong, it's not necessarily a good thing, because it can also mean that we take on others' emotional state and ways of being. Like, we can feel too much in that. I don't know, if I was to spend a whole day with someone who's very depressed, I may start feeling depressed myself because I'm so sensitive. I literally absorb the environment, those around me, the mood, the conversations. This is why also it's not good for sensitive people to do things like watch the news all day, which is nothing but bad stuff, because we're going to absorb it, and that kind of affects our mood, our emotions. As an empath, it can get quite heavy because we can literally take on someone's emotional state. Me personally, I find it hard to believe that you could be sensitive and not be an empath. They kind of go hand in hand. So you have to protect yourself. Don't get me wrong, you have to learn to protect yourself, because where you are easily affected and you do easily feel deeply, you have to be careful of who your circle is. You have to make sure you're not around toxic people, people that are depressed all the time, or always look on the negative side of life, or people who are really horrible to others, or, want to inflict pain on others, or bad-mindedness, or because we are affected by this. You can't be in environments which are unhealthy or closed in and small, because we start to feel like that. We literally take on what we're around. So it is important for sensitive people to find time for themselves, to practice self-care, to be in nature, to be around things like the sea, green, because it kind of balances back out our senses. It depends where you live in the world, but right about now I'm in this concrete jungle as we stand in the UK, and it's very harsh, it's very heavy, people can be very miserable, people are very stressed, there's a lot of trauma in people. All of these things we will feel and we will take it on. So we have to protect ourselves and we have to be careful. But it is a superpower, because we are, as beings, we are created to be social beings. We're here to be with others. We're created to do for others, to love others, to serve others. So you want to make sure what you're around, what you're listening to, what you're eating, what you're smelling, what you're seeing are positive things, because it will impact on a sensitive person. It will impact on an empath. It will have some kind of effect. So if you put a sensitive person in an environment which is flourishing, it's light, it's positive, it's airy, people talk positively, they're successful, you're going to watch that sensitive person catch on quick. Place a sensitive person around toxic people, people who are heavily depressed, people who always got something negative to say, people who are very violent or aggressive or critical. You're going to see that sensitive person go down real quick. So as fellow sensitive people, as empaths, watch your environment, watch what you're consuming, what you're taking in, what you're seeing, what you're hearing, who you're spending your everyday with, what you're seeing, what you're practicing, because it really is going to have an impact on your life and really can determine where you go in life, what path you go on in life. The life I live now is so much more isolating and secluded, yet I'm the happiest I've ever been. Why? Because I have removed a lot of the junk I had in my life, a lot of the toxic people, a lot of the toxic ways of being and thinking and how they live their life, the limited way they see their lives. All of that has an impact. I don't watch the news anymore, because when you realize these things, this is why it's important to develop a relationship with yourself. When you realize these things, you know what to do. You know how to cater to your needs. You know how to love yourself. You know how to protect yourself. I don't need to be around toxic people, negative people, listening to the news, hearing music only about, bitches this. No. You need to be around uplifting things as a sensitive person. 100%. A sensitive person cannot take those kinds of risks to be around such negative people, ways of being, environments. You need to be around upliftingness, lightness, nature, good people, love, support, happiness, joy, and peace. You need peace, because that sensitive person will end up frazzled. They will end up with anxiety. They will end up overthinking. They will end up overfeeling. They will end up absorbing everything around them, whether it's good or bad. So you better make sure it's good. You better put yourself in the right environment, around the right people, around love and support, joy, people who appreciate you, people who talk about you positively, who treat you well. That's what you need to be around. And I assure you, as a sensitive person, in the right environment, you will become something magical because of how you feel, because of how you connect with the world and others and the environment and nature and, you know, even your emotions. It's so important to be in touch with your emotions and feel. Yeah, people talk about that like it's a bad thing. Do you know how many people are emotionally damaged and they are also caught up in not expressing what they feel, what they think? Find something which helps you to express. Find something which gives you your voice. Find something which helps you to flow rather than be stagnant, stuck, rigid, tight. Flow. Be open. Move. Do what you have to do for yourself. But as a sensitive person, honestly, you're only going to damage yourself if you don't sort out your environment, the people that you're around, and just make everything more positive. Because you, Mr. or Mrs. Sensitive, will absorb it all. You're going to absorb it. So give yourself that love. Give yourself time with yourself. Get to know yourself. Practice self-care. Be around good people. Find good people. If you've only got very negative people in your life, find a way to get rid of them. It's going to do you wonders. Don't worry about what you're losing. Think about what you're going to gain. You're going to gain a lot by setting up the right environment for yourself to flourish. At the end of the day, the only relationship you have for forever is the one that you have with yourself. Everyone else is going to come and go. Whether you're a parent, whether you're a grandparent, whether you're a great-grandparent, auntie, uncle, niece, nephew, child, whatever it is, it's you. You and you till the day you die. You're not guaranteed to continue a relationship with everyone else. You're not guaranteed that those others will even stay in your life. It's you sit down with every night. You lay down with every night. You. You're in here with your mind. You're in here with your body, your heart, your spirit, your wants. Build a relationship with yourself. Don't worry about what you lose when clearing out your environment. You're going to gain a lot more. That I can tell you. It's a promise. I'm going to leave it here for now. Love you all. Speak to you soon. Subscribe to the channel. Press the subscribe button. Like the video. Comment down below. Share. Let people know. Spread love. I want more sensitive people on this channel because I know you'll be able to relate. But no. I will speak to you soon, guys. Peace out.